I'm Andre Faust, and of course, we know what the story is going to be about today. It's going to be about the flood. The flood of 2018. The reference point is May 5th, and the reason why I did it for May 5th was because of the wind that we had and the rain that we had the previous night. But before I go on, I'm going to explain the graphs. So I'm going to flip up the graphs. This one here was the baseline was April 23rd to May 5th. Excuse me, I guess 6th now, but it was. So that gives you a thing, because this is done in real time, and I just took the snapshot not too long ago. But one thing that is to point out is this line. If you look at around April 26th, you'll see a very sharp vertical line. That's when shit hit the fan. That's the only way that I can express it. This is what made this flood unusual. This has the shape of a flash flood at the beginning. Within a very short period of time, we went from a little over 4.5 meters to over 8. That wiped out all of Fredericton in that short period of time. For us, it took a little longer because we're affected by the Portobello Basin, Portobello Stream. That's the quickest that I've ever seen it. This is my third flood that I've lived through, and I've never seen a river react that quick. As we move along the days, if you were to do an average, that'd be almost a straight line. Like, it went up, it went down, it bumped up, it went, and then we see a little dip on May 4th, and then an increase, and that increase was the product of the rain that we've had. Now, like I say, I'm only focusing on the May 5th, and I repeat myself, and that's because of the rain and the amount of wind that we've had today. I know the broadcast now is at 155. I thought it was 105. Oh, boys, I guess it's going to be another night of no sleep. So here's the system that ended up creating the problems that we had today. And that, now I took this snapshot. I did this last night, and you see that rain moving across New Brunswick. And that's over from, I think, 1 to 6 in the morning. So we had a fair amount of water dumped on. But what aggravated the problem with that is the high winds that we've had today. Now, I just fired up my little drone. I'm buzzing along. I'm flying around. I should be smoking a doobie. You don't do that when you're flying. But I'm having to deal with 40-plus kilometer winds. This is my backyard. You can see the waves are just beating on my property. And the damn danger is the erosion. The erosion. I'm losing footage, and I don't like that at all. But we're having a northwesterly and westerly wind hitting us. Now, if it's hitting me this hard, I can imagine what it's doing further downstream, because the conditions are getting worse as we go downstream. As we get to Jimsake and below Grand Lake, I mean, these guys are getting a shit kicking. I mean, can you imagine Grand Lake? I mean, I've boated Grand Lake, and I've seen how nasty Grand Lake can get, and that's under normal conditions. I mean, I've seen 3-foot, waves there, and plus, and others have anecdotally told me that they have gotten worse. But that was not in flood conditions. With this amount of water and this kind of wind and the surface tension of the water, they must be getting huge waves beating on already a fragile system. It's just hard to imagine. And of course, as we keep going downstream, we're now told that St. John has broken the 1973 record. The 1973 record has been broken. I've driven a jet boat through the Reversing Falls for 18 years, and in that 18 years, never once did I see it not reverse. Well, this time here, the levels have been so high that high tide, the river was still running downstream and into the Bay of Fundy. I mean, the magnitude of this flood is just, even though we're not seeing it as much here in the Fredericton area, hey, downriver is just a whole different nightmare relative to us. We've got, compared to them, we've got it good, and we have it bad. So I guess, a few words basically says, that it ain't good all down there. So what I'm doing now, I said I'm going to show you, because I am focusing on today and the wind. And I just before I get off of this clip, while I was flying the drone, I mean, it's the wind that's causing it to move the way that it is. I mean, I'm fighting like a 40+ kilometer wind. I hit a 70+ gust of wind, and it blew it back, almost hit my house from the shoreline. And that's 75 feet, and that was almost in a second. So right now what you're seeing is a pan, and I'm taking this right from my workstation. I mean, I'm looking through my my picture window, looking at the St. John River, seeing the experimental farm on the other side. And of course from the window it doesn't look as brutal. But that's just because of the resolution of the camera that I'm using. Had all kinds of bad luck. My big drone, I broke the propellers on that. My DSL camera was an issue that's in the shop getting repaired. Murphy's Laws, right? So that's what I had to work with. Now, this I did this at around 5 o'clock on the 5th, and you get an idea of the size of the guys. Those are about 14 inches. And they're hammering on my shoreline. And if that's giving you that kind of a beating, like I said earlier, what kind of beating is it giving down to the guys and the gals downriver from us? It's just one of the unusual floods that we've had. We talked about for generations. Do you remember the flood of 2018? So this is a still. You can see the water crescenting, and that's right in front of it. You see that's the edge of my property right there, and like it is, it's taking away soil. And I'll only know the damage once I've once I passed it. So I'm going to now kind of give some highlight shots that I've taken on the peak days. The slideshow. Now we're starting out at Bridge Street, and this is just moments after that I took this shot is when they shot down the Princess Margaret Bridge going to the north side of Fire Road and off Ross Terrace. This is a shot off of Hamilton Court. Plenty of water. Everybody has their own swimming areas now. This is we're looking at Schulten's direction. That blue thing with that I don't talk about. McMinnim Court, that's one subdivision that even below the official flood levels, they always get a beating. Our first responders, hey guys, you're doing great works looking after us guys down Lower St. Mary's and below. Quinn Court, this is where I dropped my drone right into the water. Fortunately, I was able to recover it, dry it, and it works again. Another shot, this is from in front of Schulten's. This is the two duplexes, so that, by those trees there's probably 6 feet of water. Wetmore's Field, plenty of water. It looks so calm on that side. This house here, I don't know, what the end result is going to be for them. But this on Bridge Street, plenty of water. The pressure from the Portobello percolating water through gives you an idea of how much force is going. This is kind of, let's see where we're at here. I think this might be the Fire Road. Yeah, it is the Fire Road. Another shot of the water going over the road almost across from the Ramada. And Queen Court again. And you notice the difference between the two shots, the early one where I dropped the drone and this one here. That's about 10 minutes difference. This one, the water was breaking through the Portobello. Schulten's again. looking back at Wetmore, and as you can see, there's a lot of activity that is taking place onto that. This house here, they've roasted up. In previous years, they were swamped, so it's paid off for them. Another angle shot from the Ramada. You see that the Ramada is flooding in, and today that has gotten worse. Queen Court again and again what's happened today is that western wind pushed the St. John River, and it's flooded these areas like this area that we're looking here. That has a lot more water. Even though technically the river hasn't gone up that much, the wind has pushed all that water into this area. You never underestimate the force. Dobbelstein's got the idea there, have that boat ready, because if it gets any higher, that's going to be very comfortable. Now, problem that we have here is cars going through. Some don't have the sense to slow down. Yes, $35 fertilizer for a new lawn, yeah. Boys, maybe they should go into the aquaculture business if we keep getting that kind of rain. Another shot of Bridge Street, and I think when I took this shot, the bridge had been closed. Queen Court, again, this was just at the beginning, 20 minutes before that was dry. This is again the duplexes across from Schulten's. Water everywhere. There's not a drop to drink. I had to catch that shot. I like that reflection. I guess it could be a photographer's mecca going into it. Another shot of Bridgeview Court. Again, water everywhere. And this here is just as the water started to flow over Queen Court. I was speaking to someone, I turned around, and 1 minute there was no water running over. When I looked again, water was running again. It's just, it's just amazing how quick this water's moved. Again, another house in Bridgeview Court, completely swamped. You see Wetmore's is, it's just water. It looks like a lake. Yes, wanted clean. Call first. Maybe I should give him a call. Say, are you ready to get some clean land filled? But you gotta get. When things get so bad, you gotta get a little humorous about it, because without that, now this is where they're now setting up. The road is being closed, and they're going to be installing a pump because that's starting to flood, and another angle to the water percolating through. So that pretty well kind of wraps it up. So I'll just highlight it. We had a lot of rain on the 4th and the 5th, the early mornings of the 5th. That definitely didn't work for us. We had high winds. It's been reported that it's gotten as high as 50 kilometers. That didn't work for us. On the subject of that it didn't work for us. Let's see what have we learned so far to why things why they're maybe a little worse than what they should have been. In February, it looked like we were going to have an easy time. Central and southern New Brunswick barely had, it had its snow, but wasn't like 2008. There was snow up north. By all accounts, if it would have been a normal thaw and whatnot, we shouldn't have had a thing, but the fact speaks for themselves. We got more than what we wanted. So, what are some of the contributing things to this flood? Well, one, I'd say clear cutting. After the forestry deal that was done, it allowed foresters to, cut even more, cut near through, I think they can even cut trees right by brooks now, remove it completely. I'm not 100% sure, but somebody, if it's different, somebody will let me know. We had rain. We had a quick thaw. We went from cold to, the double digits almost overnight. We had the full moon. What's the probability that we'd have that happening at this time? So when you weigh all of this, all the cards were stacked against us, for this flood. And I wish I could be optimistic for the future, but we know that the Bay of Fundy is warming. Because the Bay of Fundy is warming, that's changing the air convection currents. It's altering the jet stream, and it's causing us, I mean, even into Alberta, to have extreme weathers. We can't close our eyes. I mean, global warming is happening. We're starting to see the effects in 1971. I remember, the buzz, from the environmental was that in my lifetime I was going to see the consequences of human activity. Well, I'm now 64. I was 16 when I first heard that. So we can't dismiss that. Before I close, I'd like to thank. I can't remember if I said this at the beginning or not, but in either case, I do appreciate the people who have given me good information. Rick Cove, thank you very much. Darcy Arch, thank you very much for giving me good information and links. Same with Ralph Hamilton. This is all about information, and the more information, the better it makes it to cope with this situation. If at any time anyone has any stories that they wish to share about their experience of this 2018 flood, any videos, any interview that you may wish to do with me, you can contact me at andre@jafaust.com. And if you're not on my friends list, search me up, Andre Faust. There's the icon picture of this handsome, good-looking guy, awfully modest at that. Yeah, right. And that. So this draws to a conclusion. Things seem to have worked out fine. The first one was a technical disaster, but this one has seemed to have worked out. And I will be, in the next couple days, doing another broadcast, probably when the water levels do start to recede significantly. I'll have more to say. So till then, and for you guys downriver, my heart and soul is with you. I can't imagine what you're going through. So till next time, God bless. Take care.